Hello Jubians, welcome back to another Dr. Python 10 news video, and today is a Sonic Screwdriver replica video. So yeah, now there is a warning, I am including the TWC 12 in the collection because technically it's a replica of a screwdriver, even though it's not fully accurate. But it's metal, and that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to go in chronological order, starting with the classics. Which, speaking, we have the RB 4th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver, released by Russ Brown. You can still buy these on Etsy. I've got a bit of problem on mine. The shear's not facing the cutout here, and it should be. It does wiggle, but it doesn't unscrew, and I think the threads are stuck. But other than that, it's really, sharp on the details. It's actually similar height to the toy, but it's a little bit slimmer. Now originally the spring was overly powerful in this, but I've obviously swapped out for a different spring. It does go all the way down into the body. The halo looks absolutely brilliant, even though the inside should be like brass, and it should be like painted, but obviously it's anodized aluminium. And of course you've got the false magnet there, which doesn't do anything. But yeah, that's really it. The base is flat, so you could actually stand it up like so, which is really cool. So this was like my first RB Sonic from the actual store. But moving on to the 8th Doctor's Sonic Screwdriver from the TV movie. This was from a good friend of mine, Michael. I forgot his Instagram, but I'll leave his name in the description below and I'll check it out. This is from a friend of mine, bought off him. When I reviewed the video, the bullet wasn't straight. I've had to tighten that up. It's absolutely stunning. It's actually heavy. It's heavier than the 4th. And of course here would be where the ball bearing would be. Mostly it's not there. And of course you've got your brass bit there. When I got it, it was like it needed the polish, so I polished it. And looking at the detailing on it, it's really, there's no fault whatsoever. The only nitpick I have is when you extend the screwdriver like that, you see that's come loose again, which I'll tighten up after the video. But what I do is I do it gently like that, just because I want to prevent it from the bullet from falling out. I also do it like this, twist it and then extend it that way. But I usually display it in open mode. I don't display it in closed. But it's a nice little feature, and I like that. I'm going to tighten up after the video. That's the only nitpick I have with the RB Sonics, is the bullet tends to, get slack. Other than that, it's a beautiful prop. Then we have the War Sonic. I got from the same guys, the 8th, even though they are both from RB replicas. This was like my first RB replica screwdriver, and that was my second, and that was my third. Sorry about that, but yeah, this was like my first RB Sonic I got. And it's still nice and shiny. Doesn't have any electronics, but it is still a really great replica to have. And a nice first piece. But yeah, so that was like my first RB replicas Sonic I got. And I bought that one directly off the store. Then I bought that one off the same guy I bought it off, which I'll leave the name in the description below, of his Instagram. Then we're going to the 10th Doctor's Sonic Screwdriver Remote, aka the TWC. Everybody wanted one of these when it came out. I never had one of these until recently, when my good mate of mine, Smithel, over on Instagram, look at the crackle. I tried to emphasise the cracks, give it a bit of a dark tone, which looks really nice. But after a while, the body does tend to wear down at the front after sliding it like so. I got this from Smithville, originally broken, didn't do anything, so I repaired it, bought a new battery. I also took this little piece of metal out here, what causes friction inside of there, just because I wanted the Sonic rattle, because it feels more like a Sonic that way. And ever since I've got it, I never even stopped using it. It's always been on charge. There's the channel. You can see the head's a lot straighter now since I've repaired it. It's still amazing. So this was actually using David Tennant's actual prop to make these, and the one company asked David to use the prop. So this is based on a prop that David used, even though the emitter's a bit too large. This is more like an emitter used for the wide slider, if you're lucky. Other than that, it's a great little replica, and it's, you know, one of the best bits of my collection. It does work. It's obviously turned off, but it does. Works beautiful. And speaking of 9th and 10th, we have the Universal Props Aztec Sonic, which is 3D printed. It was like 50 quid off Etsy, so you can still buy these. They've done a really stunning job on this, which shocked me. I did actually repaint the silver bits with some chrome paint just to give it the metallic look, because the original paint was coming off. It does extend. There's no electronics, unfortunately, but it's a great thing. It's actually made for cosplayers, such as myself, or collectors, basically for both. And this usually sits on my shelf. It's missing the grub screws, it never came with some, but the holes are there. But Universal Props is making a metal one, metal like the Series 4 prop. You can also get like a Matt Smith variant as well on Etsy. I don't know if it's by the same guy. Then lastly, we have I wouldn't say this is really a replica, but I class it as it because it's made of metal, and, you know, some bits do classify as accurate in some cases. Not 100% accurate, but some accurate. So this is the 12th Doctor's Sonic Screwdriver remote. In fact, it has been polished because the plating's starting to come off in places. You can see here, so I've had to polish it and it'll be nice and shiny again, like this bit here. But it doesn't stay as shiny for as long. But the silver, it does stay quite shiny, and it flicks. So I'm just going to show you the cores, which do look really good, even though they're just, you know, a representation of the real cores. The real ones are actually made from resin. And of course, you've got your leather handle section, your grip. This one's actually rubber. It's actually a soft rubber. I actually want to replace that with a proper leather and actually put a micro switch there. And obviously, that gets really loose. I do have the 11th one as well, but there's literally no point in me putting the 11th one in this collection for replicas because it doesn't extend. This one does, and these batteries have been in here for like over a year and they're still going. And you can see the handle section looks really cool. I'm going to focus it a little bit better. It's got these like black flecks in it, which look really insane. This was like my first metal screwdriver I got, and it's like my second favourite screwdriver. So there you have it. Oh, and of course, the Sonic shades. These are the cheapest things you can get, replica-wise. Got this from a shop near me for a couple of quid. Basically, the Sonic sunglasses, and I thought I'd buy them. And yeah, wearable technology. So yeah. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Please leave a like and of course subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Check out my other stuff.